everyone, welcome back to Diveheart Malaysia's podcast series. I'm Yuja, your host for today. We've got some special guests and we are chatting with Fina and Clarissa, both adaptive divers who are part of the Diveheart community. Today, we'll be hearing some amazing stories of resilience, adventure, and of course, some fun underwater moments today. So, welcome to the podcast, Fina and Clarissa.
Hi everyone, thank you for having
Hi.
us.
All right. So before we kickstart our podcast today, Clarissa and Fina, maybe you can briefly introduce yourselves to the audiences.
Hi everyone, my name is Arfina. I'm 21 years old and I'm from Putrajaya. And right now I'm currently pursuing my degree in business administration with honors at UPM, University of Putra Malaysia. And let me give you guys a bit about myself, my background. I was born with dwarfism, and I only found out about it officially when I was 4 years old. So for me, my special ability is that I like to push myself, my limits, and see what I'm capable of. And even though I get nervous sometimes and a little bit scared, I always try to challenge myself and not let the fear to stop me. So that is one of the reason lah why I joined diving. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Fina, for your very brief but really interesting introduction. So what about Clarissa?
Hi, my name is Clarissa Fina and I'm from Teluk Sabah. I'm currently a second year student in business administration at University Putra Malaysia. Um, uh, I have a physical disability due to a spinal injury, and I use a wheelchair for untuk sekarang ni lah.
Okay, it's okay. But before we continue, right, I just want to express that I'm really, really proud of both of you because despite your disabilities, you still stood up straight and strong, and you are brave enough to join us in this podcast today because I know that your stories will definitely help to inspire more and more people. Okay, so let's start with your journeys. Fina and Clarissa, could you tell us how did you first get introduced to diving?
I was first introduced to scuba diving through one of the faculty in UPM, which is the Faculty of Forestry and Environment at University Putra Malaysia, which they organize an inclusive recreation programs, which they collaborated with Diveheart. And after the program finished, Diveheart gave us the chance to join the community, and that is how my diving journey begins.
Yeah,
I
for
see.
me,
What about Fina?
me and Clarissa joined the same program currently. Basically, I got to know about dive hard and generally diving early this year, in 2025 January. There was a program, like Clarissa said, Adventure Without Barriers, that held at Blue Lagoon CISPAC in collaboration with Diveheart. So there is when I get to know about the team, the Diveheart team, and then actually got to try diving for the first time.
Interesting. So I'm curious, Fina, how did you feel when you first connected with Dive Heart or the word adaptive diving?
So basically, at first, honestly, I was really nervous because it was something that really new to me, and it involved water, which I was actually afraid of. But when I connected with the dive hard team, they really made me feel safe and protected. So the instructor and volunteer were really supportive and encouraging while I doing my training for diving. It really changed my fear into excitement every time I went to train myself, and that is when I realized that ocean is really for everyone, including myself.
Yes, I agree that ocean is for everyone because you will find lots and lots of things. You never know what you will find underwater. All right, so let's move on to the next question. Clarissa, I really want to know what first made you interested to scuba diving, and did you ever imagine that it would become such a meaningful part of your life?
At first, I thought it could be just a one-time adventure, something fun that I want to do. Um, but the moment I slip beneath the surface, I was completely blown away because the feeling of being underwater, moving freely without limits, was nothing like I ever experienced. I didn't expect it to be have such a deep impact on me, but it quickly became something I truly love. I gained a new perspective on what I was capable of. That's one thing. And diving has brought a new kind of joy, and now I can imagine not having it as part of my journey.
I see. That's a very, very, very interesting story to hear. Did you know how to swim before this, Clarissa?
No, I don't know how
Oh,
to
no.
swim.
So maybe diving has provided you a chance to learn something new, right?
Yes.
I see. I'm also curious, Clarissa. So I know you've been through a very hard time going through the physical ability phase. So how did you find the strength to move forward and come out of that hard times?
I was lucky because I have incredible support system, like my family, my friends, and the disability community. They stood by me through all of the hardship that I'm facing. Their encouragement reminded me that I didn't have to go through it alone. And over time, it's things slowly started to get better, and I began to rebuild my confidence, and I found a strength in myself that I didn't know was there. It's been a journey, but that thing made me stronger, and I'm more determined than ever.
I see. It's a really great thing to hear that the most darkest time of your life, you have the support from your family, from your friends, and also a community that supports each other. Because I think you yourself is going through that phase, but the help and the support and love from the people around you will definitely help you go through that phase with more strength and hope. So moving on to some fun questions. So Fina, many say that diving feels like therapy. So for you personally, what kind of emotions or thoughts came up when you are underwater?
So for me, it really does feel like therapy because my first thought was honestly like, oh my God, am I really at the bottom of the pool right now? Because I've never gone that deep before. And so at first I had to keep to reminding myself not to panic and just relax, enjoy the dive and try to learn how to dive properly. Because when you panic, you cannot think straight, right? So that's that's why I keep reminding myself to not to panic and try to enjoy what I do.
I see. Yeah, it's glad to hear that as someone who is previously scared of water can now experience the joy of being underwater and learn how to be calm and not panic underwater. I think that's a really great takeaway from diving. Yeah. So, Clarissa, I'm curious, what do you love most about being underwater?
What I love the most being underwater is I think it's the quiet and calm. It feels like all my worries are left behind on the surface, and I just feel pure joy. I feel like I return to my past where I used to be very active.
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really great thing to hear. And I totally agree to your point of saying like being underwater gives you the calmness because when you're underwater, it feels like the world is so quiet and all of your problems are just being thrown away for even though for like a few seconds, but it's really worth it. Okay, so moving on to some perspective questions. And the following questions are open to both of you to answer. Lah. Okay, so the first question is, what is a common misconception people have about adaptive diving, and how do you challenge it through your work?
So for me, some people think adaptive diving is only for certain disabilities or maybe just so dangerous, but it's actually for anyone who wants to try it. of course, with the right support and guidance, I think anyone can enjoy it safely.
In my opinion, people often think that adaptive diving isn't safe for those with disability. But once you actually experience adaptive diving, you realize it's absolutely possible with the right training and support.
Yeah, right. So I believe both of you think that adaptive diving, even though it looks scary, but with the proper guidance and the proper method and support, it will be something fun and enjoyable, right?
Yes.
All right. That's great to hear. Okay, so the next question, it's also open to both of you. So diving, we all know that diving requires you to be calm under pressure. So has scuba diving taught you lessons that you carry into challenges outside of the water?
Okay, to answer that question, for me, yes, scuba diving taught me to focus on my breathing, especially when you panic. Okay, your breathing will get very fast, but the instructor always remind me to control it. Just like inhale and then pause for a second and then exhale. So I noticed that after I do this, I feel much more calmer, and I use the same technique on in my everyday life when facing the challenges. So I think that's what the most the scuba diving that taught me.
Right, that's a really great answer and insight from Fina. And I think you have a point. I love the point that you said. Just whenever you face challenges, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and keep on going because everything will totally be fine. Yeah. What about Clarissa?
Same as Pina, scuba diving has taught me so much than just to stay calm underwater. For example, like we have to stay focused. We cannot panic because if we panic, things don't go as planned. And that mindset has really helped me face challenge outside the water too. Like I learned to slow down things, stay present, and trust myself. And also, I keep staying calm and taking one step at a time.
I see. Yeah, you have a really great point, Clarissa. And I love how you mentioned like taking one step at a time because nowadays people they live a very hectic and fast-paced life. And sometimes we just tend to forget that it's okay to slow down. It's okay to take one step at a time and just savor the sceneries along the long journey that we have ahead of us. Okay, so moving on to the next question. It's also open to both of you. So let's say if someone listening to our podcast today has a disability and he or she feels hesitant to try out something new, what kind of advice would you give them?
It's completely normal to feel hesitant because trying something new can be very scary, especially when you are not sure what to expect. But don't let fear hold you back from discovering what possible. Um, because all the informations is already provided in the guidelines. So is people can just read and remember it, and everything is going to be easy, and you don't have to worry about anything.
I see. What about Fina?
Okay, so my advice is just try it, even if it's scary. Because I know it's not that easy because I've been there too. So when you have disability, sometimes you think too much about what you cannot do, and it really makes you feel hesitant to even try it. So honestly, you will never know your capabilities until you push it yourself. So for me, diving is something that I never imagined I could do. That so that is that experience really taught me that um sometimes the limit we feel are only in our minds. So if you are listening to this podcast and feeling unsure, just give yourself the chance to try. Because if you don't try it, you will never know. And please remember that you only live once.
Yeah,
Yeah. people should people with disability should surrounding themselves with supportive peoples, because it helps them to start with a small step, and they might discover new strength and joy they never expected. I
Yeah,
think.
true. Yeah. Because like we say, life is just like a box of chocolate. You never try, you never know. Even though if you're scared, it's okay. We have Clarissa, we have Fina as your example. Yeah, they have already tried it, and yeah, it turns out to be a really great experience and a very memorable one for them. So why not just try out something that you've really wanted to do so? And maybe the outcome turns out to be greater than you think, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm. Okay, I think we are nearing to the end, so I'll just be asking a few more questions before we wrap up today's podcast session. For the following question, I would like to ask Clarissa, to you, how important is teamwork in diving, especially with supporting adaptive divers and surface support buddies? And what has diving taught you about trust?
Teamwork in diving is incredibly important, especially in adaptive diving, because we rely heavily on our buddies and support teams to keep each other safe and confident in underwater. And through this, I learned to truly trust others, communicate clearly, and understand that together we can accomplish so much than we ever could alone.
All right. So, yeah, it's great to hear that because in diving, it's not a one man's job, right? You require a team, with the supportive buddies, and also your teammates to make the whole diving session not only safe, but also fun for everyone on the team. Yeah, the next question for Fina. Has being an adaptive diver changed the way you see not just the ocean, but also life on land too?
Yes, it really has. Diving shows me that limits are often in our mind, just like I said earlier. And it really gives me courage to face challenges on land the same way I do when I face challenges underwater.
Right. It's great to hear that you've learned something from diving that you can bring into how you see things in life and how you tackle the challenges that you face along the journey. Okay, so I think that would be the end of the podcast. But before we really end this session, let's end it with something fun. We'll have a quick fire round where I will give you two options and you will have to pick your favorite without overthinking. Maybe we can start with Clarissa. All right, you will have three questions with two options for each questions. And you have to answer me once I let you know the options. All right, is that okay?
Okay,
Okay. All right, we'll start in three, two, one. Turtles or sharks?
turtles,
Sharks or whale sharks?
whale shark,
Last one, coral reefs or shipwrecks?
shipwrecks.
Shipwrecks. Interesting. Wow. I have you ever like seen a shipwreck during your diving session?
Nev-
No.
No, no.
Me too. I haven't seen one, but I think it would be quite interesting for us to go explore one if we ever encounter one during our diving session. Maybe we'll find like a box of treasure.
Yeah.
Okay, so for Fina, you'll also get three questions with two options for each questions. All right, is that okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we'll start at three, two, one. Nemo or Dory?
Nemo,
Okay, jellyfish or octopus?
jellyfish,
What's your favorite dive hand signal?
the okay sign.
The okay sign. How do you do it? Like, could you show us the okay sign?
Yes.
This one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can tell why you like it because it's like, I'm good, I'm good. Yeah,
Yeah,
everything's good.
I can
Everything's
use
under
it.
control. Okay, I think that wraps up the podcast session for today. Fina and Clarissa, it was so nice having you guys here with us today. And thank you so much for sharing your story and energy with us. And to everyone listening out there, I hope you're as inspired as the rest of us by Fina and Clarissa's journey with adaptive diving. Thank you for tuning in today, and we hope to see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.